After months of emotional detachment, I decided it was time to dive back into psychedelics to reconnect with myself. I weighed out 5.3g of psilocybe cubensis, ground it up, and mixed it with orange juice, preparing for an intense journey. Alongside the mushrooms, I vaporized some THC and CBD, thinking the combination would keep things manageable. Little did I know, this trip would be far more intense than I had anticipated, leading me to experience things I had never encountered before. As the onset began, I felt a wave of anxiety. I hadn't tripped in a long time, and the excitement of the experience heightened my nerves. But soon after, the effects kicked in. My vision warped into beautiful geometric patterns. The walls of my apartment seemed to breathe and shift, and I couldn't help but laugh at the moving shapes. It wasn't long before I realized I was in the midst of a much stronger trip than expected. I moved into the kitchen, but the reality outside the window began to blur into an abstract mesh. The rooftops seemed to melt together, as if there were no boundaries separating them. Everything had merged into a dimensional circumstance, where nothing seemed truly separate. The lines that once divided my environment became meaningless. Confusion set in as time itself began to slip away. I lost track of where I was, what I was doing, and even what day it was. My thoughts and perceptions started to splinter. Memories, once clear, turned into fragments that made no sense. My mind struggled to latch on to anything that felt familiar. I thought I was losing my sanity, questioning whether I had ever been grounded in reality at all. Every sound, every image, fragmented into an overwhelming mess, like nothing was comprehensible anymore. For what felt like an eternity, I was caught in this mental tornado. But then, something miraculous happened. Suddenly, the confusion dissolved, and a sense of clarity and unity washed over me. I realized that I was no longer trapped in my head. I was part of everything. The sun, the music, my surroundings, they were all interconnected, and I was part of that intricate web. My thoughts returned, but now they were full of meaning, flowing effortlessly. I could feel the beauty of being alive, and a wave of gratitude overwhelmed me. What followed was pure euphoria. I danced, cried, and laughed, embracing every moment of the experience. I felt deeply connected to the universe, to everyone, and to myself. The fears that had plagued me melted away, and I was free, overwhelmed with joy and love for the world around me. This was the moment I had been searching for, and it was everything I needed to reconnect with life.